So we have spent 2 episodes making an awesome outside of a castle, and I'm really pleased with the way it has worked out. But we've got to make the inside just as good, and in this tutorial we are going to finish off this thing. We're going to make an inside, we're going to finish off the towers, and we're going to make around the outside of this castle equally awesome too. Don't you go anywhere. This is going to be an epic castle tutorial. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening and good night, and welcome to this part 3 of this castle tutorial. In the first 2 parts we've created something that is already pretty blooming awesome. I think that we've done a really good job together, so make sure you watch those first 2 parts. There will be links to both of those parts somewhere on the screen right now. Not entirely sure where I would have put them, but if you click on those, hopefully you'll be able to find parts 1 and 2. And also, if I completely fail at that, because every now and again it has been able to happen, the links will be in the description below. So I'll look forward to seeing your comments on those videos before you watch this one. Or you can just watch this one, having already built a castle like this of your own. We're going to build up the inside to make it look really interesting, with a bit of a kind of a towery type thing inside. So there's a keep and maybe some market stalls, and we're going to sort out these towers up here so they can be used as lookouts. And we're also, and I hope we'll do this all in one episode, and if we don't, it'll roll over to a 4th episode, but I don't think we're going to do that. We'll do some outside landscaping as well until we've got a finished awesome blooming castle. Let's get right into it. So first things first, in the middle I've created a relatively random shape, kind of to one side, but it does kind of overlap the middle ever so slightly, and definitely overlaps the middle going the other way. And this is going to act as the keep inside this castle, and it's really just going to be a bit of an ornate tower more than anything else. So all we're going to do is literally create a tower effect around this relatively random shape, and you can do this shape whatever it wants to be in your particular keep. You can make it a perfect square, you can make it a perfect circle, you can make it completely wibbly wobbly and random, whichever way around you want, or you can do an about circle, which is sort of what I've done. It's not quite a circle, it's got some kind of curvy area to it, but in reality it's sort of random, and it keeps a nice big space ready on the outside. So once you've got that outlined up, come up 5 high with the blocks that you've built the rest of the walls in, or maybe you want to use a slightly different block. I think either could be perfectly fine. And I have put the entire floor on the inside as the wooden planks that I've used inside the walls as well, because I think that's going to add a little bit of kind of continuity across the entire build, and will also act as the floor of the tower. Now you have gone 5 up. Now 2 up from that, we're going to put a 2x2 hole, because the entrance to this is not going to be on floor level, it is going to be slightly elevated, and we are going to go around here, literally surround the whole thing all the way around like this with another row of blocks. Keep where we've got a corner on the wall. You can see this wall here is a corner. Keep that one a blank, so again keep that one there blank and go along these here. Keep that blank, go along these here. Keep that corner blank, keep the corner blank, keep the corner blank. You get the idea, right? All the way around with one row, just one row, because we're going to create just a little bit more structure to this, a bit like we did with the other walls as well. And you'll notice we've come really close to these walls, and that's okay, it's deliberate. If you look at a lot of old castles, you'll find that sometimes the inner walls actually are built really closely to some of the internal structures. It makes a lot of sense to do it that way. So there we go, we've got a bit of a fringe around that particular build there, and then we are unsurprisingly going to get our steps. So I'd use the same steps that you've got for these particular blocks, and we're going to come out and we're going to bring the steps in and try and build a complete skirt all the way around again. Now sometimes this isn't going to be possible, because sometimes you're going to find the wall is going to get in the way, but get it as close as you possibly can. So I'm just going to finish that off now. So we completed that skirt all the way around, and then my natural instinct said to put more steps, kind of more steps here and here and things like that. But then I thought, you know what, let's do it slightly different, and let's create a cobblestone wall just to give it a little bit more of a texture. So I actually put that in, and I think it looks really nice. Then here we obviously needed to make these steps up to go to this door area that's going to enter into this turret. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create the next kind of level. So to do that, we're going to go 1 more high all the way around. So this is going to make a total of 6 high. Of course you could do this straight off the bat and just go strict 6 high straight away. For me, I like to stage these things a little bit so as I know where I'm going, and once we've got it 6 high, we're going to start to detail just a little bit and make the wall and this tower more interesting rather than it just be complete up and down wall, because nobody really wants to look at a wall that's complete up and down. It's a little bit boring. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make it come out a little bit using some slabs. So if I get my slabs, I'm going to put slabs on the outside and on the outside of here as well. On the you can see it's on the top half of the block, not the bottom half, the top half of that block. But we've left these corners again a little bit clear, otherwise it's going to make it come out too far. So anywhere there's an indent or a wall, we are coming out with a slab, but we're not joining up the corners to make it kind of coming out the entire way around the way we did on some of the towers in the previous videos. This is going to be slightly different, although quite similar. Again, we're making it so as it looks like it's congruent, which means that it's, you know, similar and the same and flows nicely with the other components of the castle as well. Because if you think in the Middle Ages and when they built castles like this, they're going to have been building the insides in a very similar way to the way they built the outsides. Now that was a nice history lesson, and you are welcome. Oh, I found that one a bit wrong. And there we go. So we've got a nice outcrop in there. And what we're going to do now is we're going to get another lot of stone brick, and we're going to put that on top of every single slab that we just put around that wall. So let's do that, and I'll be back when it's finished. Now we've completed this, it actually makes for a really nice ledge shape on the inside, and we're going to make that bigger by using some slabs on the inside and come out just a few. So if I imagine we come out that far and maybe that far again, I reckon 2 slabs each way is going to be about right. Make sure you get it on the top half so as it forms a continuous path. So come out all the way along on the inside, and that's going to create a really nice kind of upper round level to this tower, which means that we can create some more interesting details on the outside of this one. Comes out to there, to kind of complement the fact that this is almost like a viewing level, or an area where the nobleman might want to come out and, I don't know, greet his subjects on a balcony. So we can create that kind of feel for this. So I'm going to do this, and I will be back having completed it in just a second. That ledge around there looks really great, and that's perfect for people to be able to traverse all the way around the inside of this particular building, maybe finding themselves on a balcony that they can look out into the courtyard of this particular castle. I think that's a great idea. But we are going to create the inside ever so slightly by coming out 1, 2, 3, 4, and on that square there, I'm just taking it out to mark it. We're going to fill this in again now. On that square there, I'm going to put some steps. So get my steps there. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then on the underside of this, we're going to create an upside down step like that. And then on the top, we're going to create another step going upwards like that. And then on the underside of that, another step going like that. So that's going to create a step that takes us up to the level of the door. But then we've got to connect the door up. I prefer wood for this particular platform because I think internally wood is working ever so slightly better than stone. And you can see that brings that out really nicely. So let's bring it out even further that way and even further that way. And that gives the platform for the nobleman or whoever it is working within this particular keep area to be able to come down into the area inside and do whatever it is he's going to do. That works really, really well. But this wall here, this ledge here, looks as though it's not really supported by anything. So we've got to create an anti-gravity type support thing. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to come along with a little bit of fence. Now, this is a half block, so the fence isn't going to attach. You can see here, it's not actually attached, but that's okay. We're going to sort something out on that. So on these corners, we're going to come down and we're going to use wood to create a strut. Not there, we're going to create a strut so as it joins up. And then with another stone brick slab, we're going to join it up so it is all together. And you can see there, so that becomes a stone brick block and it's supported really nicely with this fence post. And we're going to repeat that on all of these areas, these corners around the outside. So I'll be back when I've done that. So that's worked really quite well. I like the way those wooden pillars are supporting like support beams really very, very nicely. And as I say, we're going to create a kind of a balcony effect, I guess we would call it. And we're going to do it right on the front above the entrance door here. I think that's where it would be. So we're going to use upside down steps to create the first kind of little bit of support, and the balcony is going to be that big. It's not going to be a huge balcony, just big enough. So we need to have another step on that side, another step on that side, and then we're going to get slabs and come out one more on each of these one more there, and that has created the balcony shape there quite nicely. And for a balcony, I figured we want not stone, because stone would be horrible. We want to get some wooden fence. So I'm going to use wooden fence for the balcony to create kind of the outer edge of it. And the outer edge is going to start there, and there. We're going to go there, all the way around, and let's just create a skirt all the way around. So that is kind of the nice balcony area. Get our stone bricks and create the edge of the balcony there and there. So as you can see there, we've got the nice opening to the balcony. And we're going to come up one more on each side like that. And that's starting to create where we would expect our nobleman or whomever it is that's going to go own this keep to come out and greet his subjects right there. So we do need to continue this wall around a little bit more. And we're going to do just one row all the way around like this until we've got a complete surrounding wall that is 2 high. Now don't make it 3 high just yet, because I want to have a little bit of a play, and the way we're going to play with it is we're going to bring it in ever so slightly rather than it just going straight up. You know, I said we're not going to make it go straight up and down because that's boring. We don't want that to happen. Boring is, well, it's a little bit boring, so we're going to create a moving in shape rather than it being just straight up and down, and we're going to do that unsurprisingly using some steps. So I'm going to put steps the right way round, facing kind of in the way. So on the balcony, on this balcony side, that is going to be facing in, and this side facing here is going to be facing in. Now I would define this wall as facing this way, so that's going to face this way and that way all the way along, here and here, and then this is facing this way. Now you could argue that some of these are facing the other way already, but I don't care. This is my build. You do the way you want to do it on your build. And let's come in there. That's an in, that's an in, and I reckon now we're switching to this direction. Keep going along that wall that way. I think that one is facing that way, and I'm going this one face that way, and that one face that way, because that kind of links up with what we've done on the other side. So that's pretty good. We like that. Now we're going to go another row up on the balcony like that, and then we're going to come in one using steps again. We're going to do an upside down step right there, upside down step right there, and we're going to put another block on there, another block on there, upside down step there and there, and then we're going to join that up using some slabs just like that. So that has created a really nice opening and a decent sized balcony for us to be able to use. And I think what we're going to do here is we're going to make this an arch there and there, but that is going to jut out. It's going to be sticking out from the wall, so we're going to put a row of steps like that so as it continues that outcrop, and then we get a row of slabs that come along the back, not slabs, sorry, blocks that come along the back. We stick another block there and a block there and a block there, not there, sorry, and we get a block. So whenever there's a step, you don't put a block, but you do put a block there and there. You put a block there and a block same on that side, and then a block on the inside all the way along here. Now we're going to fix this up so it looks a little bit untidy on the inside in just a moment, but this is just to guide us around until you've got it all the way around just like that. Now you will be forgiven for thinking, Avomance, what are you doing? You just created a really weird kind of 2-block underpin there, and the answer is yes, we have, and we're going to use that for a number of different things in just a minute, but don't worry about it now because it's not what we're doing. What we have created though is a really nice archway on the side of this particular building that we can use to put some detail into the build in a little bit, but we've got to create a bit more height on this particular build. So let's create, everywhere we put a block, let's put another row of blocks, and I'll be back when I finish doing that. And once we've done that, we are going to continue until we've got it level with this block here. So you can see that's another 2 blocks of height. We're going to continue until it is level to that. So carry on doing that all the way around. Just like that. And I think we're going to put just a little bit of detail on the front of this using some stone slabs, and we're going to come across 6 stone slabs just to give ever such a slight outcrop on that balcony. So I guess if it rains, they're covered up. If there's arrows coming down because they're being mullered by the king from the next kingdom, that is also going to protect them ever so slightly on that balcony, which is, I'm really pleased at actually. It looks a really nice balcony. So now, again, like we did here, we need to start to bring this wall ever so slightly in. So we're going to repeat the process we did before with steps. So we've got these steps. So where we've got a step facing this way, we're going to repeat that by putting a step on the wall at the top here. And we're going to match where the steps were and the direction of the steps depending on what we did previously. So let's get on with that. So once we've gone all the way around there, we get another block. So there's lots and lots of stone brick blocks, and we come along the inside of here, and we again miss out that little cornery bit, come along here, and we're going to make this, once we've gone all the way around, we're going to make this 3 high. So it's going to be 1, 2, and then 3 on top. So including the one we're putting on, 4. So it's going to be 3 more high, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go away and I'm going to carry on with this. And when I come back, this entire wall is going to be 3 higher than it is right now, all the way around. And hopefully you'll be able to keep up and be able to do the same. If you can't, pause the video. I really don't mind. I'm not remotely offended if you pause this video and carry on and try and catch up with me. It is the best way to make sure you get in the build as close as you possibly can. Now remember, if your shape is ever so slightly different to mine, it's not going to be the same. You need to adapt this so as it works perfectly for you. And when you've done that, you want to repeat the process again. So exactly the same way, we're coming in one more using the steps to make this tower ever so slightly narrower all the way around, and then inside we are going to get a block against the back of these steps, and we're then going to create on top of that block another tower that is 3 high. So for example, you can see inside these blocks here, a block there, and then on top of that it's going to go 1, 2, 3, and you end up with something that looks just a little bit like that and should be not far off level with the bottom of the roofs of the 4 towers that you've got there. And what we're now going to try and do is start to emulate a little bit, not exactly the same, but a little bit, these towers, but on the top here. And we're obviously going to start that by bringing in the stone bricks to, I don't know, create a bit of an outcropping along here. It also gives it a little bit more texture, so we're going to bring it out like that. And it's going to give a nice kind of outcrop texture to the top of this tower that's going to be obviously very, very visible above the walls, and especially this bit is going to look very, very visible above the walls, and this part is going to be almost a 2-tier effect, if you like. Now just have a look around to check, because I think I fluffed up at one point around here. Yes, I did. I thought I had. That's going to go like that, like that. Okay, so we've now got the outcrop in there, and we want to start to create the roof. And we also want to start to create an inside to this as well, because part of this is going to be a fairly grand room, and I'm looking forward to be able to create that in just a bit, but not quite yet. So we're going to get our, not our wooden wall, these here are wooden posts, we're going to get our stone walls to start to create some height on here. And the way you do this really is up to you, but I'm going to get 3 high on a few of the corner posts here, and we'll probably find that we need to pull this out and have more posts sticking out of this particular top by the time we finish. But for now I'm just going to put a few in just to try and create a little bit of a feel for where we're going to start to put this roof. So that's going to come all the way across here, and this is deliberately random. We're not going to put one there. We're not going to put, you know what, I'm going to lose this one here, and I'm going to put it there. I think that works a little bit better. And then 1, 2, 3. So we've got a number of posts that we can start to use here to be able to create a nice roof that looks just a little bit like that. So just like we did with the 4 towers that we've got here, we're going to create a roof very, very similarly on here. So we're going to put a stair on the first one there, and then we're going to come along with all the stairs to create kind of the start of a kind of piered roof, if you like, so a roof that slants in all directions. So it looks just a little bit like these roofs here, but this one's going to be obviously a bit grander because it's much bigger, and it's going to be ever so slightly differently shaped. and I will come back when I finish this bit. So we've got the outline of the roof, and again we've made it just like we did with the rest of it. We've made it pretty random, and we're going to come on the inside and create just on the top part of all of these steps. We're going to stick in a single row of this slab of the same wood. So just a single row, so it's continuous. So if there are any gaps, make sure you fill in all the gaps that when you go around the corner. So come out one there like that, and come out one there like that, and just fill the rows all the way along, because it's going to start to slope actually fairly gently and then go more slopey as we go into the back end or the top of it. Now the big difference that with this one versus the other one is we're also going to come out on the edge of the steps one slab, so as it kind of makes a broader outline for this roof, because it's a grander roof, it needs a bigger statement. So we're going to come out all the way along exactly like this. Exactly like that. So you can see we've got a nice broad roof. It's overhanging far more than the others because that is going to be much more grand. And then the thing we've got to do is just build the roof up. You don't have to watch me do that again. You've already seen me how I made a roof a bit like this in one of the other tutorials, and if you've not seen it, go and take a look at it now. The link will be in the description below. Let's finish off this roof. And the roof on that middle tower there looks really brilliant when you compare it with the other roofs of the other 4 towers, looking really good. So now we need to get some detail and some flooring into that big tower, as well as getting it into some of these little towers, because you can see we've still got lots of holes that we need to fill in. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to create a floor inside all of the towers. You can see where the stone ledge is. Well, we're going to extend that stone ledge to create a floor, and it's going to look just like this. So we've come inside one of our 4 towers, and we're going to create a floor for this kind of second level of this particular build, and we're going to get our wooden slabs, and we're going to run along the top of these ledges here because they are absolutely perfect for that, and we're going to create a walkway for this level. So all the way around on all of these slabs we're going to create a walkway, and that is going to be the beginning of the floor for this level, and it's just the right height for people to be able to look out the windows and maybe even shoot a few arrows. And then get over here by the 2 doors, because they're going to be 2 open sides. We're not going to put any steps near those doors, that would be crazy, and put a row of slabs like that, and then another row of slabs. So you can see now we've got what's effectively some open ledges, and we want to fill out this bit there, that bit there, that bit there, and that bit there, and also that bit there, that bit there, that bit there, and that bit right there. And we're going to leave that open like that. We're going to keep this bit so as you can see up to the roof, but what we are going to do on these open sides here, we can create some steps to be able to get ourselves up to this particular level. Now getting the steps is easy because we've got a nice kind of wall here, haven't we? So we're going to put 2 steps there, and we're going to come along 2 steps there and 2 steps there. Nothing more complicated than that. And inside here we're going to get our wooden blocks, our planks, and we're going to fill in that just like that. So we've got a set of steps that is going to allow us to run up to this top level and be able to survey our domain through these windows as much as we would like, and they're perfect for defense. Now we're going to repeat that in all 4 of the towers. So inside the big tower now, I've had to put some torches down because it went half blooming dark as a result of putting that roof up there. And we're going to create a floor or a ceiling, depending on whether you're looking at it from the bottom. I suppose it could be a ceiling. And we're going to put it at the top of the brick row underneath the top one. So can you see that's just like that? So first off, we're going to put a single row all the way around, right the way across. So as we've got a walkway that spans the whole place. So there we've got our walkway, and now we're going to expand that by quite a few. So we're going to make this a relatively large floor. So it's going to have a hole, but it's going to be a relatively large floor. So let's fill that out and I'll be back in a minute. So there we've got a fairly rectangular hole there, which is great, and we're going to put at the moment a fence around all the way around the outside of this. Now this isn't obviously going to remain fenced all the way around outside because we're going to need to create some way of getting up here to the top. Now I've not decided exactly how that's going to work yet. It could be ladders, it could be a staircase, I'm not entirely sure. What I do know is now that is there, we need to make sure we can support this with some really nice columns, and I'm not going to teach you how to make a column because you guys know how to make a column. This is not a brick by brick build, as you know, but make yourself, I don't know, maybe some nice support for this, and it could be a column, it could be a way of outcropping underneath. You know what, I'm not going to use a column. I've changed my mind. That is my right. I've changed my mind. I'm going to support it like this. So we're going to go around. You can see obviously we've got a little bit of a gap where the slab goes just in there. Can you see that? And we'll fill that in just a second, but this will create a nice it looks like, just so it looks like it's being supported. I have a real problem with not seeing something that is at least acknowledging the fact that gravity exists. It is just one of my pet hates, and things just dangling there in Minecraft don't really work for me. We're going to put half slabs of the stone bricks all the way around like this, coming out when the corners come out like this, just to show that we've got some kind of expanded support. We're going to come out one more, and that gives again that perception that we have got additional support, and that's going to come to the edge of the frame a few times like that. Now we can see we've got what looks like a proper support around that walkway, and I'm just much happier with the fact that it's properly supported. It looked really silly just kind of hanging out there, and the gravity just doesn't work like that. So now let's invent some way of making that accessible, and we have gone for a classic ladder descent for this particular parapet. It's sort of in keeping with what you would do if you were going to be a soldier that was patrolling around this particular area looking for bad guys. You would go back when you finish your shift and you go down these ladders to the level down there, and then we've got a staircase that takes us down to the ground floor, that then allows us to go out to the outside of this castle. We're pretty much done with most of the construction on this now, but we do need to put just a little bit of livery on this, because right now the castle looks really bland, and what I want to do is to get some livery up on top of these walls, so as we can see exactly who it is we're trying to face off if we're going to have a go at this guy in the castle. So we need to see how wide this is. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks wide, and we want to go 6 blocks. That means one on the outside of each. We get an orange banner there, an orange banner there. These are the colours that we've used: a yellow, and a red, and a red. So that gives a little bit of coloured livery coming in as we go up to there, and then we're also going to put some coloured livery along here as well. So we want to get our orange, and we're going to do, if you've done the same size as I have, what you're going to do is 1, 2, 3, and you're going to leave a gap. One, whoop, it should be yellow, 1, 2, and then leave a gap, 1, 2, 3. So we've got the same colours repeating all over the place right down there. And now we're going to try and do something in this courtyard. It's just very empty. Now often you see in a courtyard, it depends what kind of castle it is, but I'm going to have in this castle some market stalls, because I feel a market stall is really something that you would have in a lot of castles, and market stalls are dead easy to make. So what we're going to get is we're going to get one leg, then we're going to have a gap, one leg, then we're going to have a gap, then we're going to have 2 gap, and then 1 gap. Then we're going to get a block there, a block there, a block there, and a block there. Okay, and I want a slab. There and there, so we've got a counter. I think I just put one down where I didn't mean to. That's absolutely fine. Let's get rid of that, and then we want to go up 2 on each of these, and then we're going to get ourselves some wool, and you can do this pretty much any way you wanted to really. Now I'm just going to have it 6 across, so I've got 4 here, so again I'm going to do 6, but I'm going to go with different colours to that which I went with on the livery, because the livery is for the king and these colours are for the merchant. So we're going to stick 1, 2, 3, and then another one, 1, 2, 3, and then on this side we're going to get purple, because I like purple, 2, 3, and then in the middle we're going to stick some white. So there we go. So we've got a nice market stall there with some nice livery, which I think looks pretty good. And then if you wanted to, you could actually get yourself some drop down banners, and I'm going to try using a white banner here just to see if it works, because I've not tried this before. And we're going to stick a banner there and there, and then another banner this side, there and there. Actually, I like what it does. It creates like a draped effect, and that works really well. I'm very pleased with that. Then we're going to do some stables. Let's get some stables in here. So stables are going to come, where should we put them? Let's put the stables over here. They're going to be underneath these stairs, and we're going to extend out beyond here. One gate there, another gate there, and then we're going to stick the rest as fence again, fence there and fence there. Right, so we've got a pretty decent size stable, but you don't want to just leave the stable open to the elements. These horses, poor things, are going to want a little bit of shelter. So let's go up for every other thing. Either side of these gates as well. So we've got quite a nice height stable there, and for the top of the stable we're really going to be looking for something that's relatively kind of uncanny. It doesn't have to be really sturdy, but we are going to keep it in keeping with the rest of the building. So around the edge we're going to get ourselves a slab. Right the way to the end like that, and then we're just going to build up that roof of the slab. We're using slabs to make it slightly pitched, but not too pitched. It needs to be still relatively flat. So let's come back when we've done that. So there's one finished stable. So we've made the roof just a little bit wobbly by adding some extra blocks rather than having it just really flat, and we've given it a bit of an underpin there as well. We've also added another layer of fencing to stop the horses that are now sat inside there from getting out, because they can actually climb over and jump over those fences, which is a pain. Plenty of hay, and we put some coarse dirt and some podzol on the floor so as it looks like the horses have been doing their business in here, because they would have done, wouldn't they, naturally. And in here we've got a nice water trough for them that they can eat, and these horses are going to be well happy until they get asked to dash off into battle and probably get impaled on spears as a result of some enemy marauders. But now all that's left really now is to make this castle whatever you want it to be. You have got the choice. This is your chance. You do this castle in whichever way you want. I'm going to make my castle look a bit like this. We brought in a little bit more bannerage to make it just ever so slightly more colourful. We've put a farm on the outside, and we've put some villagers around just to give it a little bit of population. I did stick another market stall in there because I thought it was quite important to have some choice for these poor villagers. And then I did inside here, we also decided to make just a little bit of a jail. So we're coming down this way, and then underneath in the dungeons we have somewhere for 2 naughty villagers to be kept until we decide to do whatever it is we decide to do with naughty villagers, and I've not decided what that is yet. So plenty of villagers here to keep this castle well populated, and I think it's come out pretty well. I'd be very interested to know what you think about it and what you think you could also do to it on top of what I have. Definitely, I reckon you could do an awesome job on making this one look absolutely brilliant. I would like to see you hit that like button if you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, it would be awesome as well for you to join the sub club and hit the subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. Perhaps we'll do a tutorial, perhaps we'll do a let's play. I don't know yet, but whatever it is, I hope you enjoy it. See you then. Take it easy now. Bye.